Hello, this is famous place, historical Miyama Valley, touristic attraction north of Kyoto. And here, almost on a sunset, on September 21st, I stay in the border of a buckwheat or soba field. So buckwheat or soba or fagopirum is wonderful plant from Polygonaceae family. So kind of polygonum, but flowers are much more attractive, and several small details of structure of the seed differ fagopirum, soba or buckwheat from typical polygonum knotweed. So soba is cultivated in Japan very frequently, especially in mountains. And this place is high in the mountains, so even in September you can find flowering soba. As many of Polygonaceae representatives, this plant flowers very late in the summer and even in the very beginning of the fall. So a plant definitely belongs to Polygonaceae. You can see it with flowers, which has a simple perianth, however attractive for insects, and also because it has acria, like a structure which similar to the sleeve, going from the basement of leaf upward to the stem. Plant is native to Himalayas and probably southwest China, and it started to be cultivated nobody knows when, but we guess it's about 4,000 years ago, and widespread through all Eurasia. So in many places buckwheat is cultivated, and for different reasons. So for example, here in Japan, buckwheat is cultivated mostly for the flour, which is used to make a soba, very typical Japanese dish. And also, very interesting, fruits of buckwheat are used to make a tea. Actually, I like this tea. It has a good effect of people with hypertension, for example. And in Western Europe, in America, and especially in Eastern Europe, this buckwheat is cultivated for grain. So it's only one non-grass grain-like cultivable plant. This is very interesting also. It's very hard to say why polygonum and fagopirum became plants rich of endosperm, and that endosperm is what we use to make a flour and actual food from a buckwheat. So plant have very interesting application as well, because it is insect pollinated. So as you can see here, and probably you can smell it here, plant is heavily dependent on insects which will come to pollinate, and they are mostly bees. So these bees will bring plenty of nectar from the flowers of buckwheat and produce plenty of honey. So this is a kind of double culture. Of course, if you bother to put a hive here and accumulate multiple bees which will pollinate the buckwheat, well, it takes some efforts, you understand that, but if you do, you will have both honey and buckwheat from one field. So this is interesting application of it. So a plant, as I say, is flowering very late in the fall time, and since season in Japan is typically very long, you can see that soba will produce the yield in the end of October probably in this valley, which is still okay, and it will be gathered, make the flour, and will be used in making soba dish. This is again buckwheat or fagopirum, which is cultivated in Japan and many other countries in the world. Thank you very much.